I was born Arnold George Dorsey. It's in my passport today, and I still hold the name, but the name that really made me, known around the world, of course, is Engelbert Humperdinck, and it's a hell of a big name to carry.
You carry it well, and I asked you if you miss Arnold at all.
Do I miss him?
Yes.
I sleep with him every night.
One thing that we talked about a little bit was when you, as Arnold, were growing up, initially in India,
Yeah.
you had a particular kind of lifestyle, then the family moved to England,
Yes.
and the lifestyle changed.
Yeah. Well, it was tremendous for me, because when you live in a tropical country, you get spoiled with the sunshine, and you looked after very well, and I just loved living there as a little boy, because it was very exciting. It was very exciting. And then when we came to England, I saw snow for the very first time. But it was wonderful. It was lovely being in England, and I still live there to this day. I have a home in Leicester, and which is a rather lovely home. And I'm going to be spending Christmas there this year. And so,
You had indicated that you had made that in India the family lived sort of on one rung of the economic ladder. In England, your family had to sort of start again.
say again?
That when you moved from India to England,
Yes.
your family, in effect, had to start again.
It was like a starting again, yes, more or less. Because it was well looked after when we were over there. My father was in the army, and everywhere we went, people were saluting him, and it was just wonderful to see this happen. And then when I came to England, and then I had to do my service, I went into the army, but I didn't get people doing this to me because I wasn't that high in rank.
An interesting anecdote about, which turned out to be sort of a parallel in your life later. In the British Army, where were you stationed?
I was stationed in Germany, and as a matter of fact, I told you this backstage, when I was stationed in Germany, Elvis was there at the same time, but I didn't know Elvis when he was in one part of the day, and I used to play his records on the jukebox. And little did I know that later on in life, I would befriend this remarkable man that I dearly love, and I still love him to this day, even though he's not.
Among the many, many pinch yourself moments, I think that would be in meeting Elvis for the first time. Back to your father, when you decided to pursue a career as a singer, you said something to your father. You made a promise of sorts that if things worked out.
Yes, I said, Dad, and to my mom, I said, if I make it in this industry, I'll buy you a house, and a nice, comfortable house. And I kept my promise. When I had released me and I got all my royalties, which was quite a lot, I was able to buy my parents a home, and I said, there you are, Dad, and there it is, and he was very pleased. My biggest fan was my parents, really, because my dad used to take walks in the morning, and he would carry my little handout pictures in his pocket, and anybody he met on the road, he said, hello, how are you, good morning. Can I give you a picture of my son? He was my best PR, he was.
Really, I think with anybody in the arts, there are these points of demarcation where something big happens, and Release Me is as big as anything that can
Oh my
happen.
God, yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about the discovery of that song.
Okay. First and foremost, I was living in a place where we were waiting for the phone to ring so we can get a job and go out and sing and do the job that I wanted to do. It was very difficult getting work in those days. It was Because being a nobody and not having a hit record, it was like, you know, you lay in bed and you waited and the phone rang, you went, have I got a place to go and play, you know, the phone was in the hallway of the place where I lived, and all the artists were living in different rooms, and whoever answered the phone would come and knock on your door and say, you have a phone call. Oh, you run to the phone, you pick up the phone, and I had a job so I could pay my rent. And it was great, it was great. It was so exciting in those days, you know, when you get you get a job and you're gonna eat again, you know, it was terrific. It was wonderful. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Release Me, which I suspect enabled you to eat even better.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but you came to the song because initially you heard it.
I heard it with, it was a guy called Frank Weir. He used to play the soprano sax. And Gordon Mills, who was my manager at the time, you know, he found the song and he played it to me, and I said, I love that melody. I just love it, you know. And so I said, let's find the lyric. So we found the lyric, and it was a version by Etta James. It was an R&B version, which I liked the song, but I didn't like the way it was done. So we changed it around, you know, a kind of a country pop. And I recorded it, and Decca was the one that took the record, and it was released, and it was voted a hit, voted a miss on Jukebox Jury, and I was really upset. I think you heard it.
The documentary opens with that discussion of it was a miss, but you were staying in someone's house, and she sort of said, "Don't you worry."
She was amazing. She said you're going to have a hit, my boy. You've got muscle, and that was wonderful the way she, you know, and she was absolutely right. And I waited 3 months, and it was sat on the shelf for 3 months, and then all of a sudden, I had the opportunity to go on a television show that's called The Sunday Night at the London Palladium. Somebody got ill, and I took his place. Now, this is how things happen. You know, you take. You have to be there at the right time. And I sang this song on this particular show, and it just boomeranged, it just went crazy, and it stopped the Beatles from having the 13th number one, and you know, it was just an amazing time in my life. I don't know whether they forgive me for it, but I don't think it touched them in any way, because they're such massive superstars, you know, and wonderful people, by the way. And I've met a few. I met Paul and I've met Ringo, and they're just wonderful people. And I've asked them. They said, "It's okay, pal. Don't worry about it."
One thing the documentary features is this crossing the pond to America, and we were talking about, again, another incredibly important demarcation, an appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah.
And not only what you did on the stage, but the way you said Ed Sullivan introduced you.
Just an amazing character, just amazing. You know, that sort of thing doesn't happen in today's world. You know, with the young people that go on the shows, they go and they do their thing. But Ed Sullivan had a way of promoting you and building you up to such an extent that the public really, really loved and accepted you. And they did. And Ed Sullivan made Elvis Presley, he made the Beatles, he made the Moody Blues, he made me, he made everybody, you know. And when Ed Sullivan introduced you, you're going to make it. And I said, and I thank him now. Ed, I love you.
One thing I learned while watching this, I did not know that Dean Martin, I knew he played Las Vegas. I didn't know he was one of the owners of the Riviera.
Oh yes. Dean was one of the big owners, and you know, he did something in his show where he says, you know, I got a piece of this hotel, and I've been looking in every room. I can't find it. I loved his sense of humor. I loved his sense of humor, and I guess that's where I decided to have one for myself. I do feel as though I have if you don't have a sense of humor, you don't have anything. Please, you got to be able to laugh at yourself and laugh at other people and laugh at everything you can.
ups and downs, just the sheer longevity of your career is to be admired in the most extraordinary way. Do you? Is it true? Is it? Yes. I'm struck when you bring up a sense of humor. Do you think a sense of humor helps cushion during those periods when it's not going as well as you'd like? Having a sense of humor acts as a wonderful cushion for you when things are not going the way.
I think you use it as a cushion. Like for instance, I have a joke that I paid $500 for, and it said, when I talk about my name going up on the marquee, I used to say to them, it's a big long name, and my humper was all right, but my ding kept falling off.
And did the guy tell you the joke before you paid the $500? Or that's wild. That's absolutely wild. Obviously, the experience in England, experiences in New York, Las Vegas, this music and your talent have literally taken you all over the world.
It certainly has, yes, I can't believe it. The amazing thing is that wherever I go, and even in non-speaking countries, they can sing along with me for some reason or the other. And what I've learned, that they say that they've learned the language through listening to my music because they can understand the words I sing. So I'm very proud of that fact, that I've been part of, responsible for that, and people being learning the language because of me, and my work.
We were talking about, and I remember the first part of this equation, that in Russia many years ago, boy, if you had a chance to go to the West, could you please bring back to Russia a pair of Levi's and what else?
And a Levi's and an Engelbert Humperdinck album. This is a true story. This is absolutely true. That's what they used to ask for.
That is really, really something. I don't know if you guys have this observation. Wouldn't you agree that Engelbert looks even better now than he did in that documentary?
When I looked at the video, which was shot about 7 years ago, I was going through quite a traumatic time in my life, and you do things that you're not supposed to do, like I was drinking a little bit and putting on the weight, eating the wrong things, and one thing and another, not looking after myself, because I wasn't important at that particular moment. My wife was important, and I was taking care of her, and I didn't take care of myself. But since then, since she's been gone, I know that she would want me to get back to my love, which is singing to you wonderful people, and that's what I do, and I want to do until the old man upstairs says, "Hey pal, time for you to come up here, I've got a concert for you,
Don't let the old man in.
There you go, don't let the old man in. That's well said. We lost your wife in 2021. And you were very forthcoming, not only here, but when we were talking earlier. You said there's a number that you perform in concert that you dedicate to her.
Yes.
And even though you have sung it many times in many places all around the world, it's almost hard to get through the number.
It's hard to get through that number, and there are people sitting in the audience who've seen that happen. It's a song I wrote 30-something years ago, and a song called Everywhere I Go. And it's got a great arrangement with a gentleman called Elvis, and if you listen to some of my albums that Baby Silvetti has been part of, they're magnificent arrangements, and he did a great arrangement for this, and that also is partly due to gets me choked up because he's such a great arranger, a great string arranger. And the words, of course, I wrote for her. And sometimes I just can't finish the job.
On the lighter side, there's another number from your act, and it may be the first song you ever sung. You're 17 years old, you're in England, you're out on a date. But, and this is something that I'm not trying to reveal too many secrets, but while you're very forthcoming here, and I think you share so much with your audience, I think you're shy. I think you're a shy person.
I am. I'm basically a shy person.
And when you were on this date at 17, and you told the girl you were going out with that you were a singer, what happened then?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you. We were walking hand in hand on my first date. And we were walking hand in hand on the pole, and I was showing. I said, "Well, yeah, this is a tennis court. We sometimes play over here. You know, go and play some tennis." And that place over there is called the Devonford Hall. I said, "That's where I'll be there one day." She said, "What do you mean you'll be there?" I said, "I'll play that place one day." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I'm trying to be a singer, you know." "Oh, you like to sing?" I said, "Yes, I do." She said, "Would you sing a song for me?" I said, "Certainly." I said, "But I'm a little bit shy. Would you mind if I turn my back and sing?" So I turned my back and I sang this song called Wanted. And I sang it all the way through with I poured my heart into it in my hand actions. And, you know, we're under the stars, so I'm really giving it my thing, you know. And because she's people, I got nobody to worry about. There's nobody in front of me. She's behind. So when I finished the song and I turned on, she'd gone. I could see her far away, waiting to catch a bus. I mean, she must have thought I was really crazy, but I wonder what she thinks today.
I feel lucky. Well, all of us met your son tonight. I met your daughter earlier in the week. You have 4 children, and this was interesting to me in the documentary. They spoke of, you know, these wonderful periods when you were home, but these protracted periods when you were away. How long were these tours? How many dates would you play in a busy, busy year?
In the early years, I was doing 300 concerts a year. 300, and I was away for 3 months at a time. It was just incredible, you know. And I didn't see my children grow up. I used to talk to them on the phone. And but I tell you something, it didn't make any difference to those kids. They're fantastic today, to their daddy. They really are.
It's something that's such a pleasure to actually see in real life. When I saw it earlier at KTLA and backstage tonight.
Yes.
Just terrific. How many concert dates do you think you'll play in 2024?
Pardon me?
How many concert dates do you think you'll play next year?
I'm hoping to play about 80.
Isn't that remarkable? And I don't know if it is the same feeling or a different feeling when you, and I'll be honest with you, we had this lovely talk backstage. You're more relaxed now and happier now in front of all these people than we were back there. Is there something, what does it feel like to walk out on a stage?
I feel great. I feel great because I am 2 different people. I am. Back there, I am really shy, and I really am. But once I step on the stage, something happens. And I come out of my shell, you know.
Also,
Yes.
one last thing before we say goodnight to everyone. And I don't know if this is something that is going to be studied by people in the music business or people in medicine. You sound as good now. And And what do you attribute? Well, one thing involves the use of an appliance, quite frankly. in your bedroom tonight, I'm not trying to pry, in your bedroom tonight, and every night, whether it's in your own home or on the road, on a tour, what's in that room?
Humidifiers. Gotta keep the throat moist, yeah.
And you do that every night without fail?
Well, we do it most nights. Where we can get the humidifiers on the road, we get them, yeah. But at home, it's positive.
And what else do you do you look great, you sound great. If somebody were to say, what are the secrets? What are the secrets?
There is no, I don't have a secret. I just, now, I just want to keep doing what I do and do the best way I possibly can, and that is entertaining.
Well, you certainly do that.
I'm definitely an artist.
I tell you what, I think we will leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, Engelbert Humperdinck.